Nobody saw it coming, not the fans, not the media, not even some of the team's closest supporters. But on September 9th, Tony Stewart's wife, Leah Pruitt, revealed a bombshell that shook the entire racing world. She's getting back behind the wheel after nearly 2 years away. That's correct. Leah Pruitt will race Top Fuel dragsters in 2026. And if that isn't enough to turn heads, consider this. Tony Stewart, the icon himself, has been keeping her seat warm. He has not only filled in but also dominated. Let's rewind this story because how we got here is much stranger than where it's headed. Leah was at her peak performance in late 2023. She had recently finished third in the NHRA Top Fuel standings, her finest finish yet. She was on fire, having already won 12 races and accumulated 14 years of hard-earned racing expertise. She was closer than ever to winning the crown. Then she made an unexpected announcement that left everyone dumbfounded. She planned to retire from racing in 2024. Why? To concentrate on establishing a family with Tony Stewart? This wasn't just a short break. Leah discovered that she had Hashimoto's thyroiditis, which is an autoimmune illness that affects the thyroid. It has an impact on everything, including her vitality, health, and most crucially, fertility. Leah stated it herself. Time is not on anyone's side, but as a woman in racing, time is especially against you. It was a painfully honest and moving moment. One of the country's finest drivers was leaving, not for a lack of passion or a downturn, but for something far more essential: family. Fast forward to November 2024, during the NHRA season finale in Pomona, and Leah and Tony have born their son Dominic. But while Leah was away from the track, the question loomed large: who would drive her Top Fuel dragster? There wasn't just any seat to fill. This was a championship-level ride. The team, led by Neil Strauss, looked around. They then looked across the room. The answer was right there: Tony Stewart himself. Let me clarify. Tony was not new to drag racing. In 2023, he had already competed in the top alcohol dragster class, almost making history. He came within 21 points of becoming the first driver to win championships in NASCAR, IndyCar, and NHRA. That's right, he already had NASCAR Cup Series victories and a 1997 IndyCar championship. Top Fuel was the final jewel of his racing crown. So Tony strapped in, and, in classic Tony manner, he joked, "My goal is to not suck, not get fired by my wife, and not kill myself while driving this thing." But, beneath the fun, he was serious. He was there to compete. And guess what? He didn't simply avoid sucking. He drew attention. Tony Stewart finished 9th in points and was named NHRA Rookie of the Year in 2024, his first season as a Top Fuel racer. Not bad for a man stepping in for his wife. But 2025? That's when everything detonated. Tony did more than just hold his own. He started winning. He claimed victory at the 4-Wide Nationals in Las Vegas and the Route 66 Nationals in Joliet. He's reached the final round 11 times this season. And the biggest victory of all? He won the regular season championship at the U.S. Nationals in Indianapolis. That's right, Tony Stewart, the NASCAR legend, is now pursuing an NHRA championship. If he succeeds, he will become the first driver in history to win championships in NASCAR, IndyCar, and NHRA, all while claiming to be a temporary driver. Meanwhile, Leah never completely stepped away. She remained connected with Tony Stewart Racing, assisting with marketing and technical aspects. She was always present, encouraging the squad and remaining close to the action. Then, earlier this year, she got back in the automobile for a test drive at Richmond. And something clicked. Leah elaborated. "The test validated my eagerness and passion for racing Top Fuel." That's when she realized she was ready to return. At the press conference, the couple confirmed Leah's return in 2026. She was filled with emotion and thanks. "Tony has done an incredible job behind the wheel, as many would expect," she told me. "But I know how much he's devoted himself to being the best driver replacement he can be, and I couldn't be more proud and thankful for him," Tony responded, stating he's probably more happy about Leah's return than she is, because he understands how much joy she gets from racing again. However, this announcement raises additional questions. What happens to Tony in 2026? Tony Stewart currently does not have a good answer for 2026. This is causing anxiety and curiosity among people, because let's be honest, how do you put the genie back in the bottle? The man currently leads the NHRA championship. He's not just competing, he's prospering. Nonetheless, his seat is going back to his wife. So fans, sponsors, and racing experts are all asking the same question. Is Tony Stewart really going to leave Top Fuel like that? Tony agrees the situation is tricky. He said, "I don't have any clear intentions yet. We are working on it. I've had meetings with a variety of folks over the last month or so, and there are definitely some plans in the works, just nothing that is completely solidified yet." That's a big maybe. The sad truth is that Tony Stewart Racing will most likely be unable to field 2 Top Fuel cars in 2026. These machines are quite expensive to operate. TSR has already committed to Leah's comeback, as well as their funny car program with Matt Hagan. Speaking of Matt Hagan, he has been the other side of TSR's recent success. The 4-time funny car champion helped the team win its first NHRA title in 2023 and inked a multi-year agreement earlier this year. The team is powerful. The sponsors are faithful. Dodge in particular has supported both Leah and Tony throughout this process. Matt McAleer, the CEO, put it bluntly, "We appreciate the incredible job Tony has done filling in while the couple started their family." That statement says everything. The automobile was always Leah's. Tony was simply the world's fastest babysitter. But now comes the unexpected twist. What if Tony does not want to leave? What if he finds another squad, a different seat, or another Top Fuel ride altogether? That's the buzz in the pit lane. Believe it or not, Tony and Leah appear amenable to the notion. Tony has even quipped that he would love to compete against his wife on race day. "We'd both want to rip each other's heads off," he told me, "but then we'd hug afterward and figure out where I have to sleep that night." That is classic Stewart. Competitive fire with just enough snark to keep things light. But if Tony and Leah do compete head-to-head in Top Fuel, it will be more than simply a happy family occasion. There will be a conflict on the drag strip. 2 fierce competitors, 1 garage, 1 family. 1 kid is probably watching from the pit box, wearing a fire suit with the words Team Mom on one side and Team Dad on the other. Who wins? That is the drama. What makes all of this even more intriguing is Leah's personal racing history. She didn't merely marry into motorsports aristocracy. She worked hard to establish herself in the sport. Leah started racing when she was only 8 years old. She worked her way up the ranks, proving herself, and eventually becoming one of the sport's best female athletes. Her 12 Top Fuel wins and 3rd-place finish in 2023 did not come easily. She deserved them. With her comeback set for 2026, the timing couldn't be more ideal. Their kid Dominic will turn 1 in November. Leah feels she's finally struck the ideal balance between motherhood and racing. She's had 2 years to think things out, and the passion, it never left. The Richmond test session rekindled everything. What about the team? They have come full circle. When Tony launched TSR's NHRA program in 2021, it was designed on Leah's abilities. Now that she has returned, the vision is back on track. Even so, the elephant in the room cannot be ignored. Tony Stewart is 53 years old and still hungry. He has won in NASCAR, he has won in IndyCar, and now, with the NHRA championship within reach, he has a chance to do something no driver in history has ever done. 3 separate major titles, 3 separate disciplines, 1 name, Tony Stewart. Do you think he is ready to hang it up after that? Not a chance. So here we are. Leah is coming back. Tony is on fire. The team is in transition. No one knows how it all ends. What we do know is that the Stewart-Pruitt family isn't just making history, they're racing through it. So what happens next? Will Tony quietly stand aside? Or will he stand up next to Leah on the starting line in 2026, still holding the championship trophy? Do you want to race your spouse at 330 miles per hour? Please let us know in the comments, because this story is far from over.